our featured conversation today, creating a social media marketing action plan. Let me just fire it off here. Say, who has one? Who's operating right now with a written plan for social media marketing? Now the hand goes down over here. It's written. Angel, Eric, let me call upon you. We never see you guys. Hardly. So let me just ask, what's in your plan? What kind of elements are in your plan?
I think it's in loose form. I wouldn't say it's like nailed down, because every time we set a goal, we end up blowing it away. And so it's one of those things that we kind of have general goals, if you will.
Specific, timely, measurable.
We're not very smart about that, but we sure are very successful.
We're very social about it.
Who else has documented plans?
Well, I have a CRM that I use to manage my new media marketing, which is social media marketing. And I identify who my emails are going to, what category they are. If you're a woman business owner, that's identified. If you're over 50, that's identified. Clients, prospects, that kind of thing. That's kind of what I keep track of, and most of it is social media.
But before I keep going on, Brad, you
well, I was going to say that sounds like a real good. He's using CRM to really touch his clients and manage his accounts through what CRM systems are really meant to do. I'm not sure that's really social media, unless he's integrating both the social media concepts with CRM and then keep
I mean, that's basically what's pushing it as well. As I do 7 touches, I believe in the 7 touches. And that actually identifies who I've talked to, or who has gotten a touch, what program, or what marketing email program that they've gotten. I can actually identify how long they've been on the web page and what article they've looked at, what they've, basically how they can get through that.
This is always a good fundamental place to start, is to listen and monitor and see what that conversation is, right? So one way to do that is you log on to Facebook, for example, and you tell it, I'm going to surf as the page. I'm going to be here as the page, and use that persona, that identity, and then you click that home button, and you go there, and it's just like you as a person would, and here's this incoming data. Well, where's the data come from? From the business pages that you liked as the page, right? So it's good to go establish these connections, and that ought to be part of the plan.
Should I start with Facebook, or should I start with LinkedIn, or should I start with this? And does one roll into another ever, or are they so kind of separate that you don't really play off of one to another so much?
Two things. First of all, bless you back there, and Joyce, go ahead.
I just have a real life example, just happened a couple days this week. So after 4 years of dinking around, I finally get on Twitter. I've been on LinkedIn, I've been on Facebook. I'm the social media tutor. Hello, I better know Twitter. At any rate, so I get on it, and it moves at the speed of light, which is tough when you have a day job, really hard. Yeah. So at any rate, so I retweet this guy a few times, we communicate, and I write about him in my blog, which of course is on my Facebook page. Then he likes my Facebook page. Hello, see, duh, that kind of makes sense. It took me a while to get this, one-on-one. And then this other guy, and as soon as he started following me, he says, well, do you have a blog? I said, yes. So I give him my blog, and then he starts tweeting my blog post. Not too shabby. So I write about these guys, of course. You have to. They're so nice to me. New people. I'm newbies. They're holding my hands. I feel like I'm in 5th grade. Well, then I write Social Media Buddies. Go check that out. And then the guy favorites my tweet about the blog post that's about him. You with me? So it really is sweet.
Jeff, did you ever thought about that?
Well, yeah, you want to go where your customers are.
Yes.
And, okay, yeah, you're going to go there too. Yeah, but if your customers are not on Twitter, don't waste your time on Twitter. If they're not on Pinterest, don't waste your time on Pinterest. And make sure that the content, if you're going to stick with Facebook, get yourself a schedule that's going to be a constant stream of stuff that's on Facebook, and just stick with that. And then later, if you're huge and big, you can hire people like Mike to take care of the rest of it. So.
Well, you have to be, even if you're, if you get some tools like Hootsuite or TweetDeck or this social media dashboards, it makes it easy, right? It compartmentalizes this whole thing, breaks it into a central deal. Deb, what do you use?
I use Hootsuite mostly.
Okay, and Deb has multiple clients for whom she manages social media relationships, you know, so it makes it real easy to manage and monitor.
So one of the things I'm doing that I picked up from another social media group was using a tool called Woobox. I'm sure some of you guys use this. It's WOOBOX. It's called Woobox, and what that does for Facebook is it allows you to do contests, sweepstakes, giveaways, all of those things, and it's like $30 a month, and it allows you to do all those things while still staying in compliance with all of Facebook's rules, standards, laws regarding all of those giveaways, all of those kind of things. So that's one of the things that I'm trying to do, is be more interactive with those kind of things through Facebook, not just posting content, but having the content be interactive.
John Bahalik and I think it was last week, it was last Friday, we got invited to go speak to a contingency from the Jordanian government. Yeah, about social media. Jordan's good, guys, right? Because we fund their military. Thank you for doing that. It was a very, they're very nice, very cordial. We got to go out to Lowry Air Force Base, and we were asked to do that because of relationships that we built, by the way, largely through the South Denver Chamber. The Jordan Armed Forces have a relationship that with the Colorado National Guard, and it was interesting because we weren't allowed to say we were going to go do this until it was after it was over. But now I can talk about it. In researching all this, you know, I had to go determine about how pervasive this stuff was in Jordan, and it's very much the same. It's very similar in the way it comes together. And I'm reading articles about, you know, and there are people just like are here, about people looking at social media, trying to crack this nut, trying to see what, how to do this and how to go about this. And they're professionals, journalists, salespeople who are blogging about their experience in social media marketing in these different mediums, in these internet social networks, and they are coming to the conclusion that Twitter is great if you are a celebrity or a politician, or if you have a large following and you need to or there's a benefit to you to decrease the perceived distance between you and this audience. But Facebook is more about conversations with real people. So this is, and I wish I'd said that, right? Somebody in Jordan said it. Now I'm just repeating. But I think this is kind of where you're going with this, right? I mean, I think this is where we all end up. So I did some consulting early on with Quest, and they had a Facebook page, as you might imagine, pretty quick, and it was just the Quest Facebook page. And it was the company, okay? And you can imagine what this was, all right? It was a whole bunch of people showing up to complain, and they were bitter, all right? They were angry. And then we tried something, we made a character. We named her Ellen, and it was Ellen's page, all right? And we changed the avatar, you know, to a person, and now it was Ellen going on. And people still showed up, and they still complained, but they were much nicer and more amenable about the whole thing. Okay? All right? It's still a person on the other end, but you put a persona on it, and people, and it's not the same issues. They still want the same kind of help, but they're much friendlier, more engaged with a person than they are with this company. So Christine, Candy, Steph, let me ask you, when you work with clients, how receptive are most of them to putting a plan together?
Nobody wants to put a plan together because it takes time. You've got to answer a lot of questions. You don't even know what questions to ask to put the plan together. So when I go to a client, I give them an outline for a plan that helps them to identify their objective. And if they don't know what their objective is, we stop there and work on it first. And so putting the plan together is often something that they just don't even want to deal with. So I try and kind of grease the skids by giving them an outline for this is what a plan looks like. And it includes checklists and examples of how to set an objective, examples of goals that they can set, and just kind of get them started on setting a plan.
So like she said, I already have this clear outline of moving forward what we can do to take the necessary steps to achieve what they want. So then we kind of skip that process of like instilling that fear in the client and saying, oh my gosh, you know, like, this is what we need to do, and this is how we can move forward with it, and how I can help you with that.
We do the same thing. There's got to be a shared accountability there, right? And so we have to identify what success looks like very clearly, because if we don't have that, then it's some nebulous thing, and we could just decide this doesn't work at any time. When you put that spreadsheet together, right, when you said, okay, we're going to have a plan, we're going to put it together, what was involved in that? How did you decide on what media or what networks you were going to focus to come back to that? And then, and how do you manage that? What expectations do you set on an ongoing basis so you can do things like be a person?
Well, I'm on Pinterest because I like Pinterest. I'm on Facebook because I like interacting with the people on Facebook. Twitter is a piece that gives, almost like your Jordanian folks, this is our way of letting people know, hey, we're here, you can reach us, you can follow us, here's stuff we're interested in. And so when we picked all of the different elements, I found when everything new came aboard, okay, so now Google+. And so we all just kind of took our little circle that was already developed on Facebook and we all ran over here, and now we're on Google together. And it seemed a little redundant to me to be in so many different social media platforms. Now Google+ has its incredible advantages, because if people are searching Google, you definitely want to make sure your business, your brand is present and it rises to the top. And that's, so I think we create that culture that we want to be found over on Google+. But the rest of it is I want to interact.
The thing about this is that it's not going to surprise me in 5 years if we're looking back at Facebook and said that was a cute thing to change the world, okay? And it was this thing, right? And if you follow this stuff that they do, they go make money right now, and their stock, you can kind of see the chinks in their armor, all right? MySpace was huge at one point. Remember MySpace? Because not everybody does, okay? And they went away. They screwed it. They screwed it up. Facebook could do this too, but the way that we use the internet, the access to information, the ability to sit there and get your message out, whatever it is, whoever you are, to thousands, millions of people and have it out there forever, is here to stay.
We talked about the business page versus your personal page. And actually, as I was thinking when we were talking about it, there's a key to that. You can go in and post as the company or as yourself, but you have to make yourself the owner of that business page. And that'll allow you on the very top of your business page to toggle back and forth whether or not you post as yourself or as a business. And also, when you go out and like other businesses, you can like them as yourself and it'll show up as their likes, or you can go in there and like it as a business to business. I have had requests when I've liked a business as a business, can you go in and like me as a person? So I'll go in, if I really like that one, you know, I'm not going to do it for everybody, but I'll like them as a person because then that shows up on their statistics. Business to business does not show up as a like. Okay, so that's why there are people out there asking for them to come in and do it as a person.